Fresh news about Pawn Stars right now. Austin Lee Russell is Chumlee's real name. The terms of his plea deal that will keep him out of jail were just told to us. It's cold and locked out for Chumlee, the same one we laughed with on Pawn Stars. It's not just one bad night either. Dozens of illegal guns, gear that was hidden, and a house full of things no one saw coming. The happy, snack-loving collector turned into someone the police were afraid of and didn't want to be seen on camera. Watch this video, because what the cops found behind his couch next to the kid's toys will shock you. Snacks, smiles, and a life sentence. Living in Henderson, Nevada, Chumlee was born Austin Lee Russell and grown up there. He got the name early on. It stuck that someone said he looked like a movie walrus. As kids, he and Corey Harrison became best friends. The pawn shop has been open since 1989, when Corey's dad and grandpa started it. Now that it's 21 years old, Chumlee works there full-time. After a few years, the cameras came out, and that store became one of the most popular reality TV shows. But the next thing that happened would change his life for good. Chumlee had his own company by 2010. He sold t-shirts, bumper stickers, and dolls with his face on them. People really liked it. He got rich. Rick Harrison put money into the company. Chumlee made more than $160,000, 0 cents in sales that year alone. A line of people formed to meet him. Kid wanted to take selfies. The silly things he did made adults laugh. That's why you learn. You say books help you more. Hey Rick, you like to argue a lot. I don't like to fight all at once. You two make it into a fight. Not at all. You like to fight a lot. Certainly. His friends thought he was safe and thought he was funny. He liked snacks and old gear. But not everything was as nice behind the scenes. Everything went crazy in 2016. Get help? Give up the guns, and after 3 years, your record will be clear. That was the deal. It looked like a second chance, but it didn't work out. The rumors never stopped. Talk turned into news stories. He was seen with the wrong groups of people. Some people said he was doing inappropriate things. Some people told him he couldn't break old habits. There wasn't much time before the police showed up again. This time it wasn't a surprise visit. They were all set. They had fresh news. There was proof that he didn't follow the rules, that he didn't do what the court ordered, and that he wasn't just hiding candy pieces. It wasn't just one mistake. It felt like I was always making the same bad decisions. The court gave a much harsher term because the old charges were still open and the new ones were added on top of them. There is no room for error or third chance in life. It's just bars and a number. And you don't run away from it. His star rose to the top when Pawn Stars was at its best. A lot of fans came into the store just to see him. He laughed, smiled, and posed. He had charm, but it wasn't enough to save him now. No one laughed in court. Important. Fees, proof, and steps not taken. All of this led to a sentence that shocked even the toughest critics. He did more than just eat and wear t-shirts when he was outside the pawn shop. Chumlee had grown to include treasures. His candy business opened on the street next to the pawn shop. A lot of people loved it. There are shelves full of old-school snacks, colorful drinks, and signed items. He even stopped by to meet friends, take pictures, and talk about his life. He talked about running more than one store and starting other businesses at one time. The real trouble was going on behind closed doors, even though everyone was smiling. People knew something was wrong when he stopped using social media. There were no more updates to his candy store account. The posts on his personal pages stopped. The same person who used to share Pokemon finds and old toys was no longer around. Then the news came out with all the charges and other information that changed the picture. One that wasn't shown on TV. People began to watch old shows again to try to figure out what happened and see signs they had missed. Some said it was the way he looked. Some people said he seemed off in later seasons. The truth, there was a lot of confusion. People who didn't know that happy-go-lucky guy had a darker side. The judge and the police saw it. Now everyone can see it too. He was famous, rich, and had a lot of friends. He met famous comic book artists, went to events, made his own video game in a retro style, and sold shirts with his name on them. At some point, though, that wasn't enough. As the attention faded, the choices got worse. Chumlee is no longer just a TV memory, he's now a news story. One that always gets darker when it's changed. Right now, things are going from calm to crazy. When people sell something, man, get ready. When someone walks into a pawn shop, do you think they're going to leave a millionaire? Welcome to the beautiful mess we call sellers who are ludicrously angry. First up is the guy who has a box full of plastic candy heads and Pez machines. There is no candy in the box, just the clicky heads. He thought he had found the holy grail of sugar-free memories. There was a friendly ghost in a box, Batman with a frown, and Mickey Mouse, who hadn't smiled in decades, put a $5,000 0 cents price tag on the whole set, as if he were moving old scrolls. Thought those little doll heads were worth a lot of money. Got an offer of $1,000 0 cents. The man looked like his spirit had left his body. He was called an insult. Says it's a shame for the PEZ group. It's like there's a Senate somewhere made up of people who gather plastic. 50 pieces. No candy. Only anger. The man with the metal statue then showed up. Big horse with wing. The buff myth guy on top, stretching and naked. Rides it like a beast from a comic book. We named it Pegasus. It was said to have been made in 1888. Said it came from a French artist who made old, fancy figures. Was ready to go with Emile Picard as the name. Really proud of that. They said it was worth $6,000, but it could go for as little as $500. Number 2. When I turned it over, it said "Made in the United States" right on the back. It also said that the collection was named Francis and had English letters. That should have been enough to give them away. It looked fine at first, but then the pits, cracks, and the truth showed up. That was most likely cast in the 1950s or even later. Not interested in hearing it. Said the store was not telling the truth. Say the team had no idea what to do. He said that his eyes could tell the truth. His eyes, not the name or the proof, just his eyes, looked like someone hit his dreams with a hammer. The manager for Madonna, little thick book full of marks, stars, notes, names, and numbers. She's been a big star for decades. Right away, anger. They said it was rude. Madonna was talked about as a big deal. They said it was a favor to bring it in, left with a cloud of smoke following them. Led Zeppelin is up next. A big time, someone came in with something he said was the real deal, a first record. On the front, Jimmy Page signed it. They said Jimmy Page wouldn't sign the back because he felt the front was his own. For $22,000. Feel like he had something for a museum. The person who sold autographs took out a magnifying glass and looked at the pen strokes. He said the ink was split in the front and back. It doesn't look good, is hard to show off, and kills the attitude. He looked like someone told him that his car had been towed. His answers went on and on about history, importance, rarity, and other things that didn't matter. The offer came in at $8,000. Hey, this is really cool. The rock and roll band Led Zeppelin is one of the best of all time. All of their records were in the top 10 and 6 of them were number 1. Seller shook his head, as if his relatives had been hurt. We tried to get 17.5, but it didn't work. They left mumbling something about knowing the real amount. The craziest one was a float, not a boat, a street-legal pirate ship on wheels that had a bar, lasers, fog machines, stages, and a big screen on the back. The owner said it was worth $250,000, 0 cents, and was made of African wood. He said it could be rented out for parties and go 60 miles per hour on the highway. Sold a huge machine to make something even bigger. They marketed it as the next big thing in entertainment. The person who played ping pong tried it out, laughed, and had a good time. Then the boss sent a text message with 3 words: "Do not buy." The whole deal was gone in an instant. The owner looked shocked and angry, like someone had crashed a parade float into a wall. He or she offered to lower the price to 190,000 baht, but there was still no deal. Said it was free at that price, and kept saying it over and over again, free. No one bit, stomped off, or came back. Pirate dreams are in the rearview mirror. It gets even crazier when a sword with a trigger shows up. A man walks into the pawn shop with what looks like a miniature sword from a fantasy movie, while history walks in and walks out. Then, all of a sudden you see that it has a trigger on it. Yes, it's a sword and a gun in one, which is pretty crazy. It costs him $20,000 0 cents to sell. Does that sound crazy? Wait a minute. It could not be. It's really old. It was sometime in the late 1600s or early 1700s. Not just made to look cool. In the old days, hunters would hit wild pigs with a musket and then use these strange little tools to kill them. Basically, they would hurt the animal and then attack it one last time. Think of it as a way to make copies. If it moves, stat it, and if it charges, shoot it. Rich people brought it into the woods with them. They wanted both style and usefulness. The handle on this one was even silver, really smooth. The strange part is here, people didn't really hunt wild pigs in London in the 1700s, even though that's where the thing was made. Given that most of them were gone, it was most likely made for someone in Germany. It came from a blacksmith who used to work in the Netherlands and then moved to England. He made very good gear for rich hunters. The fun test is now here. It shows that this thing was built for a reason and not just for looks if it still works. They get their things together and go to a sports range. Put a melon on a stick and check it out. Put on a mask and pretend to stab the melon like it's a hurt pig. After that, they pull the trigger and it fires. Old, clean, and sharp metal that doesn't break. Everyone is amazed. This piece does its job. The expert still doesn't get close to the seller's number though. He says it could sell for $12,000, 0 cents. It's still a lot of money. He walks away and shakes his head. He could try his luck somewhere else. The next person to come in has a bunch of old field passes. They are not written tickets or copies of stubs. These are shiny American League passes that look like they were made by the league. They go back to the 1920s. Used to go to baseball games and play on the field. Fans didn't just pick it up. Insiders were given these. They came from a great-great-aunt who knew a sports writer and sold them. She got these passes every year for 20 years. Let's hook up. The season was over, and most people would have thrown those passes away. But this woman kept them all, a whole set of them, clean and neat. They're being sold for $2,000, 0 cents each. They don't seem to happen very often, but these aren't the very first ones. Not only are these old, but they are also very rare. She also has several sets from different decades. Most of the time, these were thrown away when the season was over. The ones from the early 1900s are very expensive. These, in the middle, while not valuable, it's also not gold. The buyer gives you $1,000, 0 cents. Each pass cost $40, 0 cents. This person turns